This is FF8 Know the Facts Part 3, where we look at all of the things you probably didn't know about Final Fantasy VIII. If you haven't seen the first two, don't stress, I'll put the links up at the end of the video. Now that that's out of the way, let's get it on! There are some unused images that can be found within the game's data. These concept drawings are located alongside the Chocobo World images. The kanji in each picture means temporary. Look at that, they're all having such a good time. Too bad the fun is temporary. There's also an unused enemy titled the Dummy. It was designed to be a test enemy that can be fought in the debug room. The text within its mouth appropriately reads Dummy. But here's the interesting part. Someone on the Italian localization team snuck in a message that appears when the enemy is scanned. It reads, "This translation is killing me. It's almost 2 in the morning. I'm tired. I'm tired." I'm also tired, and it's also the early hours of the morning, so I can relate to this. The Timber Maniacs is said to represent the people's voice. These magazines contain a compilation of freelance writings. For every issue that you find, an article on Laguna is unlocked on Selfie's Sir Laguna page. 2 of these are very interesting as they directly affect future scenes. The first significant addition is Timber Maniacs number 1. It goes as follows. Sir Laguna writes about the time he went to the editor of Timber Maniacs. He bought an article entitled "Alcohol Will Change You," but it got rejected. I think Sir Laguna's a lightweight. If you read this from the hotel before the first Laguna flashback, the scene in Julia's room will change and Laguna will fall asleep because he's had too much wine. So yeah, Laguna is a lightweight. The second that affects the plot is Timber Maniacs number 9. It goes as follows. Just gotta put on my selfie voice. Sir Laguna is in a movie. Plus, it looks like it was shot near Travia. He could have been famous. Oh, but I betcha he can't act. He speaks way too highly of himself in the article. I just find it strange that I don't see Ward in the picture. So, if the player reads this before the Laguna flashback that takes place at the Vienne Mountains, Ward will not appear alongside Laguna and Kyros. Final Fantasy VII got all the cool stuff. Spin-offs, movies, and most importantly, a freaking remake. Did you know that FF8 also got a tech demo? It was a remake of the iconic Ballroom Dancing. The intention of this demo was to showcase what the game could have looked like if it was remade for the PS2. If only. FF8 has a character limit which prevents names from being too long. A few summons most likely have their names altered because of this. The first is Doom Train. In the debug menu, he is referred to as Death Express. On that note, his main attack is called Death Express in the French version. The debug room also refers to Eden as Bartandrous, which suggests that this was his original name. Bartandrous is likely a shortened version of Barthandalus, which was later used as the name of a fell sea in Final Fantasy XIII. Pandemona is an odd name and a condensed version of Pandemonium. Quetzalcoatl's name is also shortened from this spelling due to these constraints. If I asked you what the Cactuar does with his needles, chances are you would say that he shoots them. Unless you have a severely dirty mind, you would not describe this process as an ejaculation. It ejaculates needles is exactly what the original translation was when describing Cactuar. Lead translator Richard Honeywood stated in an interview that one of his co-workers identified this translation issue before the game's release. It was originally poorly translated by a Japanese native speaker. And I'm glad because 1,000 needles being ejaculated around the place could get messy. I already discussed in part 1 how Libere Fratelli was used by a synchronized swimming team. The track Don't Be Afraid has also seen the light of day outside of the Final Fantasy universe. Here's some footage of the WMU Bronco Marching Band playing this track. Good job, guys. But that's not all. The Indian TV drama series Hongi Juda Na Hum also played this track during episode 16.
Maria?
Yes, ma'am?
इनसे कह दो कि ये कैफे है, कोई रेलवे स्टेशन नहीं। जब बंद किया, क्या चले आए?
Just look at those eyes of judgment. This shit is intense.
मुस्कान, आपसे पहले जो तुम्हारे और रोहन के
She
बीच
is
चल रहा था
pissed.
वो सिर्फ एक नोक-झोंक थी। लेकिन आज जो तुम
I
उसके साथ
don't
कर
know
रही
what
हो
they're saying, but I
वो कोई
don't
खेल
think
नहीं
it's
है,
good.
बल्कि खिलवाड़ है।
Well, that was fun. Squaresoft, as they were known back then, joined forces with Coca Cola for quite a number of Japanese marketing campaigns between 1999 and 2001. If you ask me, they released some pretty cool merch. They started with attaching Final Fantasy figurines to the Coke products sold in shops. This marketing effort also included characters from Final Fantasy VII and later FF9 and 10. In the year 2000, Coke ran a contest. Anyone could enter by sending in seals taken from Coca Cola products. The main prize included a Final Fantasy special box. This contained 36 FF figurines, an FFVIII, a Shinra t-shirt, a Chocobo t-shirt and a small book. Even cooler is the JVC mini disc player prize. This player has a Griever symbol embossed on a metal plate. The earphones also have Griever symbols on their exterior. I don't own any mini discs, but I would love one of these. Then there were 9 Art Museum trading cards attached to 1.5 litre bottles of Coke. These all featured FF8 characters, except for Vincent. What's he doing there? And finally, Coke released a line of bottles featuring both Cloud and Squall drinking Coke. And for the record, Parasite Eve 2 also had loads of Coke items, and there was also an FF9/Coke commercial that you can see in the FF9 Know the Facts video. Now here's some facts about one of the best FF minigames ever, Triple Triad. Have you ever wondered why Square decided to add a card game in the first place? The answer is simple. Square stated in an interview that Triple Triad was added because cards are a popular hobby in Japan. Good call, Square. And Bandai seemed to agree, as they produced a full set of collectible Triple Triad cards to further promote the game in Japan. These included the original 110 cards as seen in the game, plus 72 artwork cards. You could also buy a collector's edition playing mat. These, now rare cards, have become quite the collector's item. Now this fact is awesome, and I would be impressed if you knew this. When looking through the tutorial section in the menu, you can view 13 pages of instructions on how to play Triple Triad. The first page gives some background information on how the game came to be. Triple Triad originated when a psychic named Orlan modified tarot cards for games. Now take a look at the image. There seems to be a few players playing Triple Triad, including a black mage. But look at the person on the left. Does he look familiar? This is Orlan Jure from Final Fantasy Tactics, whose job is an astrologer. Now that is awesome. I love it how Square subtly connect their games. That's all for part 3, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe for the final part 4 in a few days. If you like this, like, subscribe and check out some of my other fact videos. See you next time.